Okay, so we're gonna do a throw off the hump. So I'm gonna take this clay that I already weighed. I'm gonna somewhat center it. So the idea of this throwing off the hump is you not necessarily have to center the whole clay. Yeah? You understand what I mean? Right now the bottom is a little off. So all you need to do is try to center the lump of a clay that you need. So that's center, and that's called throw off the hump. So you know your hand is constant, right? When you weigh out your clay, you weigh on a scale that's 2-pound clay and you weigh it. And that hopefully will get you a same, if you have a same center well open pole, then you should have a same cup. But the weight wise, you have to scale it. But now if you throw off the hump, your hand is constant, I hope. They stay the same. And then you just have to do exactly the same what you do, center well open pole, which is 7 o'clock pushing, right o'clock right here. And that, from here, you see this part down is centered. Everything else is not centered, but I don't care, right? I just need this part to be centered. So making a cut, that's how you do a production. Center, well, open. Now this time, because I don't have the wheel head to allow me to compress, so that means the extra, you need to be extra careful for the compression on the bottom, yeah? So I'm gonna do this, can you see it right here? I'm gonna use my wooden tool on my hand, on my thumb, or you can leave it like that. Make sure I compress. Again, I compress only to here, yeah? So how do you measure it? Because if you open, because you can't tell because I have a lumber clay like this. So usually what I do is a habit of putting my finger right here and then putting my outside finger. And I know if I have it like this, that means I have this much of a clay. Make sense? So I'm going right here. Okay, that I should have a 1/4 inch on the bottom. If I wanted more, I'd go down a little bit more. Yes? And why do I need that? Because that line right there is where I'm gonna cut line. Okay, one more time, I'm gonna compress. I'm gonna use a tool or I use my thumb to kind of go around it like that. So it's the same thing, 5-step of a cylinder. Center, well, open, and then I'm gonna collar, I'm gonna what? Shake. I'm gonna pull, right? I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna take a little bit of water, just enough, to make sure it's not sticky on my hand. I'm gonna start from the bottom right here. Can you see that? Bottom, this line right here, okay? This line right here, that line is my cut line. So I'm gonna pull from about that line right there. I'm gonna come up. Same. One more time. Pull your clay out. I'm gonna compress. And remember that rim? I said this is thick, but I can slightly taper it. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna do it again. One more time. 3 folds. Yep. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna shape my pot. I'm gonna slow down the wheel really slow, really slow, really slow. Can you see it? I'm gonna come out quick. And that's how you make the mark right there. And then when I cut it, I cut where? Below that line right there. You see? Okay? I take a wire, make sure it's nice and straight. We're gonna cut across like that. What you can do is you can run the wire, run the wheel once. You can do it like that. It's already cut. Or you just pull towards you. So that will be the first cut. I'm gonna pick it up. And that's, again, it's a production, right? No, I didn't do it. One more time. All right. Let's do it one more time. Just right here. If you see a little dimple right here, push your clay up. Again, your hand squeezing should be the same, hopefully, like that, okay? Once you did that, finding your cut line, which is right here. I'm gonna sit right here so people can see my actions. One more time. I'm gonna carve it right here. That's my break line, can you see? Okay, now I'm gonna center, well, open. I can tell this is a little bigger. That's okay. Luckily, I'm not production father. I'm gonna compress. Once I compress, I'm gonna leave the mark of making that spiral. Color the clay. Again, my cut line is right here. I'm gonna pull from this above, right here. One more time. When I pull, my finger always adjacent. That's for compressions. However, there's so many people are throwing a different way, okay? Whatever that works for you the best, then do it, yeah? But for me, I need to make sure my finger, both ends are adjacent. So when I pick up the clay, I don't do one lower, one higher, just because of my habit. So if you see it right here, this is where my finger is. My outside finger is gonna meet with my inside finger. They're gonna come up. I believe this is my third pole, yeah? My pole is constant too. I try to get 3 poles only. And I'm gonna taper the edges, yeah? I'm gonna compress this time. You wanna see a different shape or same one again? So if I'm gonna do earlier that one, I slow down. I can go back to compress my rim like that. I can do that, right?
Yeah.
So that's an even wheel speed. But if I do it earlier like that, I'm doing this. Earlier that, I slow down this. My wheel, can you see, it's different. My wheel is very slow. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
And come up. And you're gonna make it really awkward. Yes? But it's okay. That's what I wanted. Even there's a little indent that you don't want, you can indent the other side. And then come out. Or even one more to balance it out. Yep. So this allow your hand, your cup has a little fluidity. Yeah? Okay, I'm gonna take this wire again. I'm gonna cut it straight towards me. That little notch gonna allow me to pick it up. That looked too big. Okay, any other shade? Would you like to see? Straight? Bowl? Okay, let me do one more cut. Okay, I will do the bowl. So I'm gonna take this again. Center only this part. Rest of it, don't worry about it. Center, well, open. Compress. So see how many cuts I can make without wedging, yeah? It doesn't mean wedging is bad, but so I'm gonna compress that, bring them up. This is B-mix, so it's very sticky. I'm gonna define my groove. My groove is right here. I'm gonna throw above the groove because this is my, imagine this is the wheel head. This part here is wheel head, yeah? So that's gonna be my cut line. And then I have a 1/4 inch of a thickness, yes? So I'm gonna start throwing from here, yeah? I'm gonna come up. Again, this is for second semester students. We are doing 12 cup, 12 bowl. So I need you to kind of, if you want to learn how to throw a little faster, throw up the hump is the great way to do it. Yeah? So, can I have a straight? I just lose my sponge. I can take the rib tool, and then again, I always say, I throw with the rib tool. This rib is made from galvanized metal sheet metal that you can buy at the Home Depot. You just cut the shape. This shape is perfect for the shape of my cut. Watch. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna do it from here. Compress, start from bottom. My finger currently is adjacent, okay? I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna come up. Well, that's a nice cut too, right? You can do a lot of great variation too, right? Or you can do a lot of design. The rim is a little thick, so I will taper just a little bit. That. compress, cut it. Make sure hand is dry. And that's the reason I set up this, is because if you're gonna throw multiple, you don't want to stand up, you just want, yeah? Okay. I'm gonna start from the bottom just a little bit. If you can throw a big center, this time is you wedge your left arm, that's for the righty, and then you wedge it in here and you use your body to push it, yeah? I'm gonna take that knob out. Okay. I'm gonna do it one more time with that cup, so I have two pairs, yeah? Center, well, open, compress, find my cut line, yep, fake my inside curve, color the clay. I'm gonna pull from bottom right here is my cut line, above. I'm gonna pull, push. One more time. My finger inside is right here. You see it right here? My finger inside. So I'm gonna catch with my inside finger and I'm gonna come up. Continue to come up. If you notice, my finger is always adjacent, yeah? This rim is a little thick. I'm gonna thin it out just a little bit. Is that my second pull? Third? I'll do it again. Third one? Okay, stop. Gonna take this. I was using this side, huh? I'll do it right here again. Right there. Finger adjacent right here. Can you see? Like that. Always come up this way and come up straight up. When I pull the same way, this, and I come straight up like this. I use my index. This is index, yes. But with the rest of the finger backing up like that. I pull straight up like that, okay? Cushions, we're gonna make pull? Yes, okay. Pull, then you have to determine what type of bowl. That is a flat bottom, this is a curve. So that means when you open, you wanna open curve, not flat, right? Okay. So I'm gonna take this. I can make a big bowl out of this. Should I?
Sure.
Might as well.
Show off for us a little.
I know, right? Show up. Not really? I don't want to do the show up. I'm gonna get maybe like 3-4 pound clay. I'm gonna go down. Also throw off the hump. Bad idea to throw the ball off the hump. It's better to have a bat, but that's okay. We'll try that, yeah? We just need to make sure I have a more depth to it. So I'm gonna center well, I'm gonna open. And I open funky way. My apology. I'm gonna take this, my favorite rip tool again. I shape my wall with this shape, cut earlier. I'm gonna compress with this part. Yes? If you look closely, this curve right here is the inside profile of my ball. As long as I just run my hand along with this edge. But before I do that, I need to compress the bottom. Okay, so I use in here and compress. I'm gonna clean my arm, clean my hand. And take my sponge, wet a little bit on the side. I'm gonna start from the bottom right here, okay? Same things when I'm pulling as the cylinder. Remember when I'm making the hump, throwing the cylinder, I straight up. Yes? You throwing the ball is the same way. You still throwing straight up, except your head is tilted. Yes? Because your hand follow your head. Nobody throw like this. They always throw like this towards you. So if you want to make ball, tilt your head. And if you're making a cylinder and always become ball, then you ask yourself, where's your head? Is it straight or the side? Because they go with that, yes? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna slowly squeeze it. Now my hand, one eye inside, one eye outside. I'm gonna slowly come up. When I come to the top, I ease up the pressure because I can always thin it out, just like a cylinder. But I want to use this to keep a thickness so my ball won't wobble. I'm going to do it again. Start from the outside. This is my cut line. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to pull it up. Okay. Now I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this rib. I'm going to take this rib and take my soft rib, which is this one. Okay? Right here. I'm going to put this in. Can you see that curve? Inside curve, almost like this. So I'm going to compress my hand. Wait, if you're going to do this, make sure your blade is clean. Your rib is clean. Your hand is dry. Because it's hard to hold that metal rib with your hand wet. Okay, now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go inside, I'm gonna compress. I want you to come look a little closer. Can you see my profile on my rib? Yes? Can you see it? Profile of my rib. I'm gonna come like this. I'm gonna come straight up. I didn't move. That's it. That's my bowl. Isn't that easy? Just have this tool. However, how about I want to make it bigger? Can I tilt this more? Watch. Can I make it bigger? Yeah. Tilt it more. But notice my outside always compressed. I don't do this without it. I always make sure this way. I'll cut it in half, let you see it. Then do it like that. And notice earlier I leave the rim a little thick. Now can you see my rim is thinning out slowly? Yeah? Okay. So I'm gonna do that again. Yeah. Can I make them, but make sure this inside curve is nice and smooth. You don't want to have Then because then when you scoop something, it's almost like there's a little lump. I have to go through the hump and go that. No. So you make sure to run this across your wheel right here. You see? A few times. Yeah. Oh, my rim is a little thick. I can thin it out by throwing a little taller. Can I flare them out? See, I changed the shape again from earlier to here. Yes? I'm going to use again my tools right here. All right, I'm going to come right here. I'm going to finish this quick so I can go help you. See that? All right, notice this rim right here looks a little flat. So what you do? Finger. Yeah? Okay. Anybody so far have questions? I will take this and cut it out. I don't like that mark again. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, that mark. So actually, I changed my mind again. You shouldn't do that. I can make it fun. I just got to cut this like that. Okay. I'm going to come right here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna soften a little bit. And I'm gonna do that. So you can have an irregular shape ball. Yeah? Okay. Is it okay? Or wait, we need to make sure we cut it. go down just a little deeper to cut it with this. Okay, so you're gonna pick it up this way. Okay, but wait, where's my wire? I'm gonna take this on this way. Oh, that's okay. I'll leave it there. This is how my rib works. Can you see it? Like that. And then touching it like that. Okay? Are we good?
Yep.
Right on.
Thank you.
Go to work. You're welcome. Huh?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.